Well, hello everybody. This is the Stuff I Heard podcast. I am your host, Joshua Peak, and I am on location right now. I am in the mountains of Seneca, South Carolina, and right now the sun is blaring in on me pretty brightly. I'm sure you guys can probably see that if you're on here live watching the video. I do want to take a moment and thank everybody for subscribing and being a part of this channel and participating. And I know you guys have been fans of the show, and that's great, and I appreciate it. And every time I go to upload one of these, I go, I wonder who's listening, or if anybody's listening, or if anybody gives a crap. So that's kind of one of the things that I think about often, and I know that it's an ongoing thing where creators nowadays are trying to figure out where their audience is and if they even have an audience. So with that being said, I would like to give a special shout out and prayer for our friend and co-host at times, Joshua Treadaway. He's going through a little bit of personal issues right now, and I hope that he's okay and everything's fine with him. But let's talk about stuff I heard. Okay, so on the podcast, I want to talk about a show that's on Hulu that I'd first heard about through my wife, Only Murders in the Building. Now, this is Martin Short and Steve Martin and Selena Gomez. They live in this fancy hotel in New York called the Arcadia, and the show starts off with them as complete strangers. Well, not complete strangers. They've seen each other in the hallway kind of thing. But they are fans of a murder mystery podcast. And come to find out that the host of that podcast ends up being Tina Fey, which is kind of funny because I like Tina Fey a lot, and that's always a pleasure to see her pop up in stuff. But they become fans of this murder mystery podcast. And in their fandom, in the first episode, there is a murder in the building. Someone gets killed. And from that, they get the idea of, hey, we should start our own podcast and talk about murders in the building. And we could do this thing where we interact with fans and we try to solve the mystery like from the ground floor, and and this could be a really cool thing to do because they're fans and they're like, why not? So they start it. And they seem to be doing great with it. I gotta move, this sun is killing me. They seem to be doing a lot of cool things with it while they're solving the murder, supposedly. Even though it comes across at a certain point where the police say it's not a murder, that it's just a suicide, and that the guy was distraught and he had all kind of money issues and blah, blah, blah. So they uncover some things that the police don't find. And they're looking into it really seriously. And in that process, they figure out that Tim, this guy, the main character that killed himself, supposedly, Tim Kono, maybe didn't kill himself. Maybe this was a murder. So they're like, oh, we got an actual thing that's happening here. This is real. We're doing our thing. So in that process, they go, okay, we got to figure out, who got killed, what happened. You meet other characters on the show. Nathan Fillion is in it. If you guys remember, he was the voice of Timon from The Lion King. He's in it, and it's very interesting because it's very surreal in the fact that they're creating a podcast about their fandom of a podcast, and then it's also a murder mystery, and there's a murder and a mystery going on in the show. So there's a lot of like tongue-in-cheek sort of winking at themselves over the issue of the creation of podcasts, the silliness of it all, because at times they go, wait, say that again, and they're like re-recording things that have happened. And I've done that, and I'm sure that if you're out there and you've created content as well, you've done the same thing. But it's through Hulu, which, I mean, I get it. There's different platforms out there for everybody, but the one thing that I don't care about with Hulu is the fact that they have commercials. I mean, it's a half hour or an hour long show, whichever it is. I forget. I think it's whatever. But there's a commercial like every 5 minutes, just like you're watching regular TV. And it's a subscription-based program for Hulu because you pay for it per month to have it, and yet you're paying to still then watch more commercials, which I don't quite understand how Hulu has convinced people that that's okay. I mean, I guess the only thing that's keeping people on Hulu is the fact that they keep coming up with some decent content. But now this show apparently is their top show. So, it's a really funny show. They're comedic actors. They were on Steve Martin and Martin Short, of course, were on Saturday Night Live back in the day. They've done shows together. They're actually really close friends. They have a comedy show, a comedy thing that's been on Netflix together. And I think they're actually touring right now because I saw a poster for them in Columbia, South Carolina, where they're supposed to be like in an amphitheater doing a live show, like a live comedy show. Selena Gomez, I knew that she had done some acting. I know that she's like the voice of the little girl on the Hotel Transylvania stuff with Adam Sandler. She has a very interesting way of speaking where it's almost like she's holding her voice back a little bit. I don't know if that makes any sense. But the show is really well done in the fact that every episode you uncover a new secret or a new thing that makes you go, whoa, I didn't see that coming. So, in a way, being a show about a murder mystery, there is a murder mystery within the show. The mystery is that every episode you learn something new that you didn't expect. Amy Ryan is on the show. She's from The Office. Very interesting character that she plays. We are watching it now. We caught up to where it's coming out one episode a week, so we have to wait till Tuesday for the next episode. There's only like 3 episodes left in this season, but every episode is a new uncovering of, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. So the show is supposedly created by Steve Martin. He wrote it, directed it. The 3 main actors are executive producers on the show, so they've got their money, they have their own money staked into it. And it's very interesting to watch. I enjoyed it. So check that out. I think you'll enjoy it. I do want to talk about the What If episode that just came out. The Watcher. Okay, if you haven't seen this, I don't want to spoil it, but if you don't want to hear this part, just skip through it. And if you're bored with Marvel and all that other stuff, I get that. Listen, it's a lot to take in. I understand that. But I'm watching it, and there's people out there that are watching it. And if you enjoy it and you want to talk about it, then that's fine. I'm here for you. So, The Watcher, okay? We talked about in last episode where things had gotten a little awry. Ultron had somehow won against the Avengers in one of the universes. And in that process, Thanos arrives and he cuts Thanos in half with the Mind Stone. Literally cuts him in half, just and takes the other stones, the Infinity Stones, from him, and then decides to run amok, killing all the people that were around so that he could, quote unquote, create peace, because he saw that peace was the flaw, that people were the flaw in the system. And if he got rid of the people, then they would have ultimate peace. Well, in finding these Infinity Stones, realized that he can go to other worlds and create peace there by getting rid of all the people. And in that process, he goes, oh, wait, there's more to it. It's not just me. It's not just this universe. There's more universes. They're everywhere. I just got to figure out how to get to them. And in the process of the Watcher, like, narrating the show, he hears the Watcher and he goes, wait, where are you? I got to find you. And he finds him and they go on this huge battle to the point that the Watcher has to flee and hide. And he hides in a multiverse version where Doctor Strange has sort of done the same thing in one of his stories, and he has control over that place and has destroyed everything else around it, trying to save the love of his life. The Watcher finds solace within him, and they come up with a plan together. Now, a lot of people will watch this and they'll go, wow, the Watcher had a cool plan, this is awesome. But a lot of people will also say, wow, I can't believe that Doctor Strange was that powerful, because they come back and fight Ultron with all of the rejects from all the other versions of timelines. The, Captain Peggy from the Captain America episode where he got shot. The Doctor Strange from the one where he's super powerful. The one where T'Challa becomes Star-Lord. The one where Killmonger becomes super powerful and basically becomes the Black Panther. And a version of Gamora is it Gamora? Yeah, where she becomes Thanos, basically. So they all come together, they all working together, and they all try to fight Ultron together. Oh, and Party Thor. You can't forget Party Thor. Party Thor's fun. But they all come together on a world where the zombie episode took place, and you have the Black Widow there, and she is sort of alone. We saw the episode where basically all of the Avengers turned into zombies, and she was left by herself, and Now they're like an assembled group, and they're the guardians of the multiverse, quote unquote. They actually say that out loud and do the whole cheer and chant. And they battle Ultron together. And in that process, you get to see how powerful this Doctor Strange is, because everything you could imagine he would do, he does. The only thing you don't see is you don't see Ultron utilizing all the powers of the different stones, which is fine. Still way cool. Very cool episode. There's no way they could have done this with any type of budget that was feasible, except for doing it with cartoons. So that's why you're seeing a cartoon version. That's why I like it. That's why it's so cool. God, I'm trying to chase the sun away here as I'm moving around on this back porch, but it's a little tough. We are up here in Seneca, South Carolina. I do want to kind of mention that. Oh yeah, I didn't finish talking about What If. So they end up defeating Ultron at a certain point where he is thwarted by Romanoff. She shoots a virus type thing from Hydra inside of it. That thing battles Ultron inside of itself. Killmonger makes a power move to take the stones. They end up battling each other in this crazy fight, trying to pull the stones from each other. And then Doctor Strange encapsulates them inside of a protective orb where they're going to battle each other supposedly forever. And then he takes them to solacely watch after them from that point on. In a sense, Doctor Strange becomes the Watcher himself over a different universe. Very cool episode. Okay, so back to the mountains. All right, so we're in Seneca, South Carolina. It is beautiful here. We're up on a hill, and we can see the water down below us. We've been here for a couple of days. We went to Greenville, South Carolina yesterday, did a little bit of wine tasting, went to a distillery. The wine tasting was nice. Elevation 966 Winery. They're in sort of a shopping area that some different places are connected to each other, but the wines they had to taste were very good. There was only one lady in there to help us, but they weren't busy, and she was super friendly. Everything we tried we liked. She had mentioned a few things that we could see while we were there, and some possible options for things for us to try. There was a distillery that we went to that wasn't that great. The liquors were super strong. It took an hour and a half for them to make us a drink. It took us another half hour just to pay them, even though they were standing there by the cash register. I'm not going to say what distillery that is, but wasn't a fan of that. We did find some good food at a brewery. There was a brew area that made craft brew, and they had flatbread pizzas and paninis, and I had a Cuban panini that was pretty delicious. But the real star of the show was we came back here to the house, and on the way we stopped by Ingles, picked up some salmon, and I cooked some salmon on the grill last night, which was fantastic. Today is going to be a beautiful day. It's supposed to be about 80 degrees. Right now it's about 60. It's nice. I'm sitting out here and having some coffee. We watched Alabama play Texas A&M last night, and we fell asleep before it ended. I saw this morning that Alabama had lost, so there's going to be a lot of movement in college football. I also woke up to find out that Tyson Fury beat Wilder for the third time. I looked on my phone to see a highlight of Tyson Fury knocking him out, and it was pretty impressive knockout. So anyway, this is stuff I heard, and I'm just telling you some stuff that I heard, and I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you're having a great day and you're living your full potential life. And if you're not, please get out there and do it. I'm sitting out here listening to birds and whatnot, and we got a plan today to get out on the water with the pontoon, and it's going to be so beautiful. So, with that being said, I'm off. Go live your best life. Thank you to everybody who's listening. And I don't know if this is worth listening to or watching, but I hope you guys are enjoying it. So, thank you again. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, share with your friends. If you want to be on the podcast, let me know, and we'll figure out how to do it. Okay? Take care. Cue the cow.